Welcome to Sovereign Mamas, the podcast sanctuary for visionary women who are building lives, businesses, and legacies in alignment with their feminine power. I'm your host, Julia Jerg, intuitive business coach, mama of two, and systems strategist for solo-led entrepreneurs. Here, we honor both your sacred role as a mama and your wild vision as a changemaker. Expect soul-aligned strategy, raw storytelling, behind the scenes, and powerful conversations that support you in scaling your business without sacrifice. If you're done choosing between success and sovereignty, you're home. Let's begin. Welcome, everyone, to another episode on the Sovereign Mamas podcast. It is a beautiful, sunny episode today, and it's one of these exceptional episodes that I'm actually this is the first time for me here being on live during the day. Usually my morning hours are my recording times, but I have a beautiful guest today on this show, and we decided it's for moms. We are moms, so let's have this all play out in the way it will play out. It might be interruptions, there might be some kids popping up, but so be it. Welcome to the show, Sara. I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for having me today. And again, I think it's time for a new year of business. If we talk about, the feminine business and business for sovereign mamas, this has to be it. Like we have to get used to children interrupting and being with us. And I really like that to be the new normal
Yeah.
because we grew up in that environment where, you stay still, I'll close the door, stay in the room, don't talk, don't breathe. I'm doing business, I'm doing work. And, I think it's time for us to lead some change.
Yeah, I love that. And each time when someone is on my podcast or I'm doing business nowadays with women who get each other, right? It's so open. It's so like yesterday, for example, I was in bed all day. I had a belly bug, somehow a one-day thing, and I had meetings scheduled, and I just messaged everyone who, I said I can't, and everyone was so understanding. Of course, take your time. But I remember, in those years when I was living a corporate life, and you just had to suck it up somehow and show up because it's important. It's more important than your health to deliver. So I'm so happy and grateful for this being my, my business and flexible enough. So when the little ones, it's a helicopter, yeah. When the little ones come in and need us, we can navigate. Or when our body, they require and need rest, we can still say, okay, it's not that important, right? And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about you. What is it that made you say yes to come on to this podcast? What did resonate with you?
Well, first of all, your beautiful energy and the way you are embodying the sovereign mama. I really love that, sometimes we listen to podcasts and business trainings and it all sounds perfect. But do these people embody, live what they're teaching? And so I've been following you for a while now. We've connected, I think, last year, and I've seen this beautiful transformation as well, where you are matching beautifully the masculine and the feminine of business. So I guess that you can take that day in bed because you are the queen of systems. And it's been a few years actually, 2020. Sometimes I get these channeled messages, and I had this word coming in so many times. It was sacred union. And so I experienced that, and I nurtured that. I thought it was just, within me. And of course, it's within me. It's with life. It's with the world, other people, relationships. But also in the world of business, there is this magical sacred union of the masculine, which is all the systems and the funnels and the automation. And you think, whoa, whoa. But then is that safety net that saves you when you are in your feminine and all its own cycles, and which some days are beautiful and are like creative, and it's like this expansion of energy and intuition channeling, and all will flow and ideas. But then other times are like, oh, I need support. And there is that masculine, all those systems that you are such a genius in. That's why I love you so much as well.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. That's really awesome. And I didn't even know, sometimes when you are out there putting your soul out there into the world, and then uh, every time, or not all the time, you get the feedback because people watch you. People, and that's for everyone who is an online creator, right? Who has a social media presence. You don't know how many people are actually sitting there in silence. They're just like the there's a word, there's a term for it. I can't think of it right now, but the people who are not engaging, but this is a big amount. And then sometimes I get in conversations or in opportunities or situations like here, something that I wasn't aware of, you don't know it. And so it's so important that we keep going because there is, you are impacting others. You are really, creating and helping others to follow and also model. Like if you're modeling something that you can and you're good at, or you're like, this is my mission, my purpose, then it's your job to do it, to inspire others, to lead the way. And so yeah, thanks for reflecting that back. And again, thanks for coming on and sharing the time and space with us here. You are a mother of two, you said, right?
boys, yes,
Boys.
they're not children anymore, like teenagers, more than, yes.
Big children now.
But I thought, surely when they get older, they're gonna be less work, but now it's the same, if not more, because it's more emotional. Like when they were little, it was more physical, so running around and, apart from some tantrums here and there. But now as teenagers, they do really have those big emotions. And especially, we've been homeschooling, world schooling for years, 4 years, in Europe. And so now we are back in Australia, and they go back to school. But they are so aware of the world, and they know so much that it's it's not that it's hard for them to have friends, but they find it boring because they used
Mhm.
to have friends they went on adventures with, and had incredible learnings from locals, from artists, and all that beautiful yeah, kind of, hands-on learning. And now they're back at school and they're like, meh. Meh.
Right.
And so they come back home and they're like, okay, so which adventure are we gonna go on today? I'm like, I thought you were teenagers and mama was off. Like,
Wow. Okay. Oh, that's great feedback, though. That's really
yeah,
great feedback that they still want you to be involved. And I guess this is also, this goes to show that, if you are sharing your passion with your children and really involve them, and obviously this was an amazing bonding experience with for your children or as a family. I think. um Give me just 1 second. This is,
absolutely.
your toe hurts. Yeah. Mm.
Oh,
I know he stepped on, I think, a bee, but we didn't really see it today, right? There's like this, but we put a plaster on and we'll put some ice on later, okay? Ist noch dein Omelett fertig? Okay. Gibst du mir noch 5 Minuten?
this is so beautiful. I think it's a pure gift, to be honest. You know what in the past was a disruption, and we
Mm.
would be all angry and feeling shame. Oh my goodness, we had
Mm.
my child has ruined the podcast, but now it's a gift. And I believe this is an example and a permission slip for other mothers to, to just do the thing and and
Mm.
get their dreams and their intuitions and their creations out in the world, even if they are with their children, and their children may disrupt the
Yeah.
call, the podcast, or
But you know, if you do like it's just impossible to separate. Like if you're running a business like we do, right? Where we are the brand, where we are in connection with others through Zoom, and we bring our work to the house.
yeah.
Then obviously the work is part of the house, the family, and so they get to see and be involved, and it's part, like, it would be so unnatural for me now to lock myself into a room and say, don't come in for 1 hour. Like, how is that even like this? I don't know. I cannot imagine. And then we're not doing a heart surgery right now, right? This is always my thing. We're not heart surgeons. So if we have to redo this again or stop or pause or, you know, nothing changes for anybody. Like, yes,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
spend a little more time on something that could use up only 30 minutes, but then at the same time, so be it. Now is your cue. That was your brother. Can, can you check on your brother? Und dann dürft ihr ein bisschen schauen, okay? Now
We
he's
are raising future leaders. They are part of the business. They see their parents doing
mm.
business in a more human, aware, conscious way. And so
Mm.
there will be, hopefully, fingers crossed,
Yeah.
more human, conscious, and aware adults doing business and, blending life in and
Oh, you know
making
what?
them
And
seem.
they get it. I feel like they understand the value of because I always, when Vincent sometimes says, "Do you really have to work right now?" And then I say, "Well, I'm still here, but imagine some moms, they have to leave at 8 in the morning, and then you see them at 5 or 6 at night, and then you're taking your food." Okay. And then you don't see them. So when I work, I'm still around and I still can stop whenever you need me. And, you know, we hop into the pool together, and then I come back and do a little thing, and then they do their things. And so they're like, yeah, that's true. Actually, I prefer that. And so their mindset is already wired towards having um, also learning these boundaries, because they understand that if I do this now, mommy gets to be around us. And then I also teach them. I'm not sitting there chatting to someone just for fun, and I prefer someone else over them. It is helping us as a family. Yes. Jetzt darfst du ein bisschen, ja. Nimm's mit, dann kannst du es da essen. Willst nicht, okay. And so I feel, yeah, they're little humans, but already with big brains to understand complex situations, right? And if
Mhm.
you talk to them like adults, then yeah, it's
Uh, I had to learn about business. I've been studying a long
Mhm.
time and doing business as well, different kinds of businesses. But having conversations with my teenage boys, obviously I got them involved and enrolled in the vision and in the business. And also, while they were doing homeschooling, we got together with other families so they could learn together. We could, have like a village, let's say. And so we went to markets, and they learned all the things of buying, selling, and profits and cost and funding and expenses, because we were funding like projects. So they did a lot of that. But now just talking with them in random conversations, and also they've got AI that helps
Yeah.
them too. But they know business. They've got that inbuilt in them. So I had to learn it, but they lived through it. And so they are ready. They are like, my 15 years old is ready to
Ready.
go. He's got
Oh,
his own channel online, and he's got like so many 50K. I don't know how many subscribers he's got.
oh. It's
So
incredible. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, teach mama. You know?
Oh. Wow, you must be so proud and also so, yeah, they definitely do have an advantage to us. Like we grew into this and they are just like, this is so normal, right? Having all the technology available and wow. Um, I mean, for what is it for you, maybe also from this perspective of some people say AI is a has an evil side as well, but everything has a good and a bad side, right? But if you see it in your children, how do you help them navigate this so that it doesn't flip over into, addiction or that they use it actually for something productive?
Yeah, I was scared of AI at first, I have to be
Mm.
honest. But then, teenage years are, you can be present, you can be the best mother you want to be, and I'll try my best. But still, there are big emotions and big things, and they want to be rebellious and want to say no to things that have always done, and they know what the right thing to do is because they lived through it. But now is the time when they want to test boundaries and all the things. And all of a sudden, I had this big idea because especially my oldest one, it was just like, I checked with chat, chat GTP. I did my research and I'm like, all right, like if that is research, okay. I said, be careful because, chat may not be great at research, but it's like, oh no, it scans and it knows everything. And so I actually have got almost 2 degrees in complementary medicine, and I try to keep them as healthy as I can. And I've got, not I don't know everything, obviously, but I know a few things, and I tell them, you know, how about you eat more of these and you don't have those snacks? Or how about you turn the telephone off 2 hours before going to sleep because affects you? And then he wants to know why, and but he wouldn't listen, it was just like, and we are not in the era of punishments and like in the olden days, so it's a bit tricky. I want them to choose from a place of awareness and knowing. And so one day I thought, oh, okay, I can use chat in my in my side. And so I tell him about the telephone and the blue light and how that affects his sleep. And it's like, no, no, you don't know these things. Who are you? Are you the doctor? And this and that. And if you study to be a doctor, why are you not practicing as a doctor? And so, a typical teenager. And I'm like, well, how about you ask chat? Ask chat about, being on your telephone at 9 p.m. and what effects it's got on the sleep, you know? And
Brilliant.
10 days later, we had telephone off at 8 p.m. And then telephone stays at home. It doesn't take it when we go out because of AMFs. Like, chat. Chat
Wow.
is sexy.
Amazing. Yeah, that's brilliant. I love that how you use these tools in a very healthy and a productive way for us, right? And this is how I see it too. Why be scared of something that can really enhance our living experience if you have good intentions? Everything in your hands with good intention turns into something good. And so I love how you teach your children with that. Um, it's
Sometimes I don't want to listen to the mother. So I'm like,
yeah.
well, ask chat. Ask chat about your diet. If, put this
Mhm.
label in chat and see if it's healthy. I can
Amazing.
tell them it's not healthy, but they won't listen because
Mm-mm.
it's that time.
Yeah, they have to kind of find it out. I might regret saying this, but it's a little bit like when you talk to men, they also always have to be the inventor of the ideas. Like if you can create a situation so that they find out the great idea, then we're on a roll, and then it's so much better for everyone. So it's a little bit with navigating children too, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that. And so tell us a little bit. So you did um quite a bit of an adventurous phase with your children where you went out and traveled and now you settle back in Australia, but you're from Italy originally, right?
Yes, I'm from Italy, and so in long time ago, I had like a small, very small, like takeaway restaurant like in Italy, and I sold that. I was working so long hours, like 16 hours a day. It was crazy. So I
Mm.
sold that, and I wanted to go the furthest away from home, not seeing anyone for a few months. And so I wanted to actually go to California and Central America, but I wanted to have choices to be able to work, not because I needed to, but because of experience. I wanted to improve my English and immerse myself in the culture. And so I remember at the travel agency, they said, "Oh, go to Australia." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't research Australia." And back then, you would watch all the DVDs and the VHS, whatever, on the, on California, whatever. And I said, "Oh, what? Okay, good. As long as I get to do the beach life, I want to live close to the beach." And then they said, "Oh, no, perfect. I've got the perfect city for you." And they sent me to Brisbane, which is, I didn't do my research, obviously. Chat wasn't available at the time.
Oh,
And it's an hour from the coast, an hour
hmm.
drive. And so I'm still here. I've been here since 2006.
Oh,
And
wow.
but in 2019, we thought as a family we would go back to Europe for the kids to experience, the grandparents and the food and the culture and everything. But then 2020,
Hmm.
lockdown, and Italy was like incredible. So I spent with the kids. We've been there like for 4 years. As after the lockdown, we kind of questioned a lot of things, and we want to be close to family and friends, and we built quite a conscious community and the village, the one that we really need. So lots of community projects and workshops and women's circles and
Nice.
like using my coaching just to help people because people were devastated. Businesses was crashing. Myself, I had a business online and I sold it. Another one that I'm reorganizing now. I put it on pause. Yeah, because it was like a very challenging time and I focused on community. But then last year we relocated.
Mhm.
So we came back to Australia and, settled back into life. And I decided after all this big community experience and what I've seen and all the businesses, the brick and mortar businesses closing down and everything, to really build more of a feminine business, a sustainable, what you're doing, I guess, as well, because I could see the importance for me to be location free and flexible with my time,
Mm.
and also to build something that would respect my value, that would be aligned to my needs as well as a 40 plus young woman.
Well done. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, so as you know, I'm transferring all that business online, rebuilding all the automation and everything. I've got like a course based on Italian cooking because I love cooking, and I think for us it's like so important to nourish ourselves, especially as mothers, because we need to be healthy. And
Mm.
so I created this Cooking con Amore course, which has got
Oh.
lots of whole food recipes, but are my own recipes from home that I batch cook and stuff, but a bit of naughty things as well that I love from time to time. And
Yes.
then I've got another course called Women Creating Magic, which is also about, mindset and creation and manifestation and all these things, going back to us. And then I'm really, really love with high ticket affiliate sales in the wellness technology space. And
Mhm.
that's probably one of my favorite at the moment because it's backed up by all automation and so it's very seamless as a business, but it can really make a difference, support health because of the technology itself, but also wealth as mothers, like uh, and we need to organize an income, but this one is quite seamless for how it is automated and quite beautiful community as well.
Sounds perfect. Yeah, I feel like you are um, very smart in setting yourself up with different streams of income, with covering the areas that you are good at, passionate at, and and sometimes I also believe that a lot of people have this block of only going after one thing because they are scared or don't see a way of having their passions or monetizing their soul gifts. So there's cooking, there is the connection with your feminine side and helping package this up into something that helps other women and what you do and what you live. And so um, this is the way of embodying and being the versions of ourselves. We're multifaceted, we're multi-passionate. Why not, right? Why not share it with the world and have this as our as our foundation of then that's the freedom, right? That's the freedom launch pad. So I love it. Nice, nice. Um, there was something I wanted to touch on, and now I forgot. But when people hear this, and a lot of like you talk eye on eye level with me when it comes to travel and living in community and doing the digital nomad lifestyle. For me, this is normal, and for you, this is normal. But I'm very, very, very well aware of the fact that there are listeners who are, in one location and they have not this experience yet. Maybe they have it on their dream list, but they have not experienced being out there and detached from the system and doing it in a way that um, that might seem scary in the beginning, but once you are in it, it feels the best decision ever. Other people are doing it too. And so how was how was this for you, this initiation phase before you knew what would happen? Because afterwards it's so easy to talk about, right? Once you've done it, you're like, oh, okay, had I known earlier. But before you do it, it's jumping into the unknown and overcoming that fear of leaving my safety zone, right? And what was your anchor or your help, a tool that made you do it and then take your family and travel?
Hmm. Well, I found out not long ago, but I'm really in the depth of it right now about human design
Mm,
because I've always felt a little bit guilty and ashamed or not like, oh my God, I hide myself. I actually no, I don't hide myself, but a little bit of shame around my multifaceted passions and my desire to be in different locations. And I remember I was probably 22. That was the last time I did have other jobs here and there, but like the proper job. And my boss back then said, "You are like the wind, like." Because you are here one moment you're gonna go, and that job was amazing because it was in procurement, but it was international, so I got to travel as well. But it wasn't enough. Like I
mm,
felt trapped. I was just like, I can't be here for 8, 9 hours in this room looking at a screen. Like for me, it was not driven, yes, driven by desire, but more driven by getting away from pain. I really felt the pain of being stuck in a room for 8, 9 hours, doing the same thing and thinking ahead of a life that was gonna be like that forever. Like,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, I can't do this. And so I thought, okay, I had this vision and I actually built this small restaurant. It wasn't there. One day I sat in this park and I thought, I can't, I need to find another way. I need to find another way. And I just I can't do the office regular job. And so I built this restaurant, but and I thought this is gonna be my business. I can work 8, 9 hours. In fact, I worked many more hours, but for myself to create abundance. But then after a while, I had so much abundance because I couldn't spend that money, because I didn't have any time. And so I was feeling stuck. All my friends were like working in the office, yes, but they had the weekends and the holidays. And I was just like, oh, maybe the office wasn't that bad. But when
Oh,
I finally got, after a few years, the chance to sell that, I, I, I just have got this memory in my body of feeling stuck. And I wanted to show my children that they can follow their values. They can follow what they're passionate about. They can follow a life that lights them up. And it's not by any means easy.
mm,
I guess like everything comes with its own challenges. Like there is no magazine cover life, but it's all about, I guess, creating what aligns with your energy, your values, your what they say choose your heart, but I
mm.
guess the worst thing would be, being at the end of our lives and thinking back that, we only half lived our life, not fully. That would be
Yeah,
scary.
absolutely. Yeah. You definitely speak my language. This is how I see it, and we have such a similar story to. And let me guess, you are a manifesting generator.
Yes.
Of course. Of course,
Of
because
course.
yeah, me
That
too.
was such a relief. I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
I'm not
You're not
abnormal.
cuckoo.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like me in the world. I just have to find them and create my sisterhood,
Mhm.
my village of crazy people like me, and I'll be fine.
Yes, and I had the same revelation. When was that? Yeah, about 5 years ago. That was my first connection with human design. And a friend of mine, she was really passionate about it, and she said, "Look, look, look!" And when she did a reading for me, and I finally heard, and like you, like I got the permission to have multiple things going on at the same time. I was like, ah, this felt so good. So I truly am a big fan of human design and think everyone should know their chart. Everyone should at least like, and also with family constellations, I understand my children so much better, and also partnerships. I mean, in this case, the relationship didn't, it wasn't helping our relationship knowing our human design, but still, it made a lot of sense, knowing each other through the charts. And and then also like going all in, like that was for me then suddenly, because before I learned about me being a manifesting generator, I would listen more to other people saying, when I presented a new idea and where I was like, oh my gosh, so lit up by something, then I would listen to other people talk me out of it, because they said, that's too much. You look what you already have on your plate. You will just like water this down, the other things, and you'd get distracted, and this is not going to work. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, okay. And that was always then a reaction, and it felt so wrong, and I was so disappointed, and and so sometimes the default reaction for me then was, and I don't know if you have the same, but I would keep my ideas to myself, and I would create like in the background something until I made it work, and then I said, look. And then I came out when something worked, because I was afraid of getting the negative vibes from others, and then not going for something that I truly believe I'm capable of. And we are so capable of, like, we can do so much. Manifesting generators are really, ah, 5 people at the same time. I love it.
I do love all the type and energy types. And if anybody listening doesn't know human design, please Google it and find somewhere where you can run your chart. Some websites do it for free,
Mhm.
but it's really liberating because, as women especially, but also men, like we have inherited so much shame, guilt for not being this and for not being that and for not doing things this way. And all the programming. But then when you find out your type an energy type, I guess some things we still run them how we've been programmed. So it doesn't actually match sometimes the energy type because the programming is so strong. But at least it gives us an idea of why we feel a certain way. Why, I am multi-passionate. The guy that said to me, "You're like the wind," and I'm like, because I said to him, I was like in corporate and procurement, and I was with my suit, and I was traveling. And the next day, I was like, I'm resigning because I'm opening a restaurant. I was like, what? It doesn't have anything to do with this. What do you mean? You were in sales, now you do procurement, and now you're opening a restaurant. You're like insane. And now I can say I'm a manifesting generator and I embody my type fully.
Absolutely. Very cool. Very
And I
cool.
enjoy it too.
Um, Looking at the clock and knowing that I have 2 children in the background waiting for me, I would love for you to just have what is one big message for the listeners, something that you feel like is such a deep truth for yourself and what you live by, and what you would like someone to know who might not be at this point yet, but who's striving towards a life that we're living.
Yes. So,
Maybe put you on the spot here.
the last 5 years have been like a deep dive university course into sovereignty and consciousness, awareness, and all these things. And I really believe things sometimes happens for a reason, and some tough things, some challenges come into our lives for a reason. That in the thick of it, obviously, they're not very nice. But then, on the other side, we understand. And what I can say from my experience in the last few years is that we are in a new era. We are in a paradigm shift where um, sometimes the limitations that we see on the outside are actually in the inside, and we can shift those. Sometimes we need some help because when we are in the thick of it, we can't even see them. So that's why I'm a fan of, sometimes having even a chat with a conscious friend or a coach or therapy, but to really focus on limiting those shifting those limits, because a life where actually living life aligned to our own values is definitely possible. One step at a time, of course. Our nervous system needs to feel safe. And so it's like, step one, step two, what's the next aligned step I can take to create the life I desire and get clarity on the life you desire.
Perfect. And that's also
So
why
powerful.
it's no surprise that your handle is Sarah Loving Life. I love that so much. This is on Facebook, is it on Instagram as well?
Yes.
Your username, right? Yeah. Yeah, and this is, I think that's the key, which sounds so simple sometimes, or it sounds so cheesy, like a cliche, but it's truly that. Through loving life and through loving the moments, we are becoming more present. We are more anchored in the situations. We're then suddenly unlocking that true living that gets us to our expansion, like our next level of expansion. And it sounds also so simple or conceptual, but when you do it and once you know, you know. And I totally agree. Sisterhood, community, surround yourself with people who are inspiring you, who are lifting you up, who are holding you accountable to this growth, right? This is truly part of the path. And yeah, thank you for wrapping this up in those beautiful words. Sorry, I'm now distracted by the cat who wants to eat the omelet. Oh my gosh.
Well, thank you, Julia, for having me. It's been such a pleasure.
Yes,
And
thank you for coming on. It was really nice. It feels like I've chatted to an old friend, a lifelong friend. And yes, let's do this again. Maybe we'll meet up again in 1 year, and we'll see what magic we've created by then.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. And of course, you can connect with Sara through the show notes. There's all the links that you need to know to get in touch with her. And just as a reminder again, you gifted yourself a pause. You took out time to really fill your cup. This is the Sovereign Mamas community. This is the space for you to do that. And we're happy to have you and are grateful for everyone listening. Spread the word if you did love this episode and our mission here. And I can't wait to talk to you on the next episode. Thanks, everyone.